Morning everybody, welcome to 307 country. We got a little project today. I'm gonna build a cart to put my wire feed welder on and hold my shield and gas tank. Kind of lucky so far. This thing's just been sitting here and it's tipped over a few times, and I mean, I'm sure it takes quite a bit to break the top off of one of those, but man, that would be a wreck. So I've got the old electric wheelchair frame from when I bought it to use the motors and controls to put the power feed on my sawmill. So the wheels on it, of course, they mount to the motors, so I had to figure out a way to mount those wheels back on the frame, and I did that a couple weeks ago. Tegan was here and we figured something out, so we'll go ahead and get into it. I'll show you that part, and then we'll see if we can get something built to hold the welder up. Kind of figured out I wanted about 34 inches. This workbench is 36, 38, 37 and a half, which is good for a workbench, but the welder I wanted a little shorter. So had my sawhorse set up with a piece of plywood on it and wound up measuring that, and it was about 34 inches, so I think that's what I'm going to make it. So we'll get into it and see if we can make some metal stick together and hold up. So these wheels, I had a piece of pipe that came off of an old air compressor. It was like the front handle part, so it was kind of a U shape. I cut it in half and it fits right through the wheels. I'll spin on it. I am going to have to figure out a way to hold them on there. I'll probably weld a washer to the back side here, and then I'll show you. Probably weld a bolt inside this, and then I can put a washer on there and a nut to hold them on. They'll come out so that they're about to the end of the piece of pipe, and the washer will just hold the wheel on. I'll have one on the back side. And that'll give it a wider stance too, to keep it from tipping over. This did have, this foot platform was welded on here, you know, for people to put their feet on. We cut that off thinking it was going to be in the way, but now I'm thinking I'll probably grind this, cut this all off, and grind that up. Probably going to mount that somewhere right there, and then my tank can sit on here. We'll put it somewhere up there. It might be right there, would be the best place for it, because my frame, I'm 24 and a half inches from the front wheels to the back of this. So if I build my deal 24 and a half inches, my welder's 19 and a half, that'll leave me 5 inches of room to put, you know, tips or wire or whatever, the pliers, different things like that. So yeah, well, we'll go ahead and start cutting and grinding and welding. Alright, got all the pieces for this part of it cut out. Basically building the frame to set everything on. I'm going to rim it with angle iron to hold the welder in place. These legs will go up and hold this up off the chair frame. Everything's square. Good here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack this together. I'm not gonna completely weld everything, just so that I can twist it if it needs twisted or something. So everything's not quite flat. So we'll go ahead and get it tacked up and see what we can do. Okay, you'll notice it kind of rocks a little bit. So once I get the legs welded where they need to go and get it welded to the chair frame, I should be able to twist that, get it all straight, and then I'll weld everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll bring it back when we get her attached to the chair frame. Alright, I got the frame all welded on here. I did miss one weld there. I'll pick up here in a second. Get that welded on. I'm going to work on my wheels, getting the wheels mounted. Got a washer here that fits over that. I'll get the wheel put on, get the washer up against it good and square, and get it to where I want the wheel at, which is going to be pretty much face up with the front of this on that inside hub there. And then get that welded on. I'll get this bolt welded in here inside the tube, and then yeah, this washer here will go on the outside. Screw the nut on, and that'll hold the wheels on. So I will bring you back when I get those welded up and show you how it works. Alright, we got those all welded up, ground down to where they'll fit. So put the wheel on, put our washer on here, and these are nylock nuts, so they won't come off. The weld sticks out a little bit past the hub on this, so even tight, they still spin. That's pretty tight on there. Now they're not, I mean, they don't have bearings or anything. They're not greasable or anything like that. So, you know, it's just metal riding on the metal hub, but it'll work for as much as it's going to get rolled around. It's not a whole lot. And, you know, right now with the dirt floor in here, it's probably not going to move a whole lot. I'll put it, you know, over by the workbench where I use it the most, and that'll kind of be where she sits. But if I do need to wheel it out into the yard or something, I can at least do it. It might be a little bit bouncy, but it'll work. There we go. Wheels are on. I think I'll clean this up and get that stand welded on here for the tank to sit on, and we'll show some of that. Alright, so I put in a couple cross members to support the welder because it's got little dimpled feet, so they'll set on these. I'm going to put expanded metal over the whole thing. Well, actually I might not. I'm going to have a strip over here like 1.5 inches or 2 inches. I think 2 inches. I'm going to put angle iron where the welder is, and then I'm also going to put angle iron around the whole thing, so I can put expanded metal to hold things in there. But I may just set the welder right on these two cross members, right inside the angle iron. But I got these welded in, got everything ground up flat. Probably won't grind the rest of my welds. I'm not really too worried about, I don't know, I might make them, I don't know, pretty or whatever. I'm probably going to cut some caps to go in the ends of these 4 corners. But I'm going to go ahead and cut some angle iron up, get that figured out, and then we'll get that welded on and get some expanded metal cut to go inside there, and that part will be done. I'm thinking about, I'll probably put a shelf in down underneath there with the expanded metal just to hold more stuff. Can never have enough room to hold stuff, right? So let me get some angle iron cut and I'll bring you back. Alright, well, I got it fairly finished up. There's still, I need to plug these ends. Need to drill some holes here for a bungee cord to go around the tank. I had to put a gusset underneath right here to hold this piece here. It was flexing when you put weight on it. Built a ring for the bottom of the tank. Kind of a hoop up there. And yeah, got 1.5 inch tray right there that'll hold you know, crayons or soapstone, whatever. It's also a good place for grinders. Just rest your grinder on there. If you have more than one, you can put different ones on there. Still need to cut a line right here across here so that this door will open on the welder. Then I'll probably put in a shelf down here. But yeah, it fits. Back tray, got expanded metal in there that'll hold the, you know, hold magnets and extra rolls of wire, whatever. So yeah, wheels around good. That's one other thing I need to do is put a handle or something up here, maybe to pull it around with, or maybe off that bottom shelf put like a handle to tow it, pull it around or whatever. But yeah, works good. Well, I went ahead and welded a couple links of chain in there, one on each side. Holds the tank on. Yeah, should work good. Alright, well, that's got that project wrapped up for the most part. There's still little finishing touches I need to do. Build the shelf in the bottom. That won't take much. I do want to shout out my buddy Daniel. He lives here on the property, and he ordered a motorcycle off of Amazon of all places, and it shipped in a crate. And when he opened the crate up, there was a bunch of angle iron parts and stuff that everything was attached to. So he gave me all the angle iron, pretty lightweight stuff, but it works great for building all that out. So that's where I got all the angle iron from. Yeah, just using, you know, scrap stuff that I have collected over the years, that electric wheelchair frame. Yeah, everything. I did that 2-inch strap. I bought that several years ago for building fire ring grating. But other than that, yeah, most of that stuff was just scrap stuff I had used, got from other things and had left laying around. So reusing parts, got to do that when you live 100 miles from anywhere. So, all right, well, I just wanted to say thanks. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed and everybody that watches and comments. I love you all, and I really appreciate it. So we'll see you on the next one. 307 out.